Hi, this is our lesson 149. In this class, I will teach you the pretérito perfecto del modo subjuntivo, or subjunctive mode. This is actually our fourth lesson learning the modo subjuntivo. And before that, we dedicated 16 lessons to learn the 16 different conjugation tenses of the modo indicativo. So here in this page, you can see the 6 different conjugations of the modo subjuntivo. These are the 6 conjugation tenses of this subjunctive mode. Today we will learn the second one here, right? Pretérito perfecto o antepresente del subjuntivo, because we are not following this order that we see in this page, right? So I'm teaching this in a more disorderly way. So before we jump into our topic, I want to recommend you to watch the previous lessons with the previous conjugations, because there is a reason why I chose this order. We first need to learn the modo indicativo and then begin with the more simple conjugation tenses of the modo subjuntivo. That's why we begin with the present tense, okay? So, when do we use the modo subjuntivo? We use the modo subjuntivo or subjunctive mode to express non-real situations. For example, expected or desired situations, or possible or hypothetical scenarios, okay? So, that's a difference, that's the essential difference with the modo indicativo. The modo indicativo is a more real or factual situation, right? For example, the simple future or simple past or the present continuous. This in the modo indicativo is expressing something, real facts, okay? Or even if it is something that has not happened yet, as for example when we use the future tense. We are not talking of something, of a wish or something hypothetical. We are talking of something that is to happen or is supposed to happen, okay? While here in the modo subjuntivo, everything is quite more hypothetical, you see? It's more an expression of desire, and you will see now how it is used. So let's begin first conjugating the verbs of the first group of verbs, the verbs that end in AR. Example, the verb hablar, or to speak. Right? The verb hablar in pretérito perfecto del subjuntivo. Example, yo no creo que haya hablado con el gerente. I don't think that he has spoken with the manager. Yo no creo que haya hablado con el gerente. You can see how the subject pronoun he is omitted here, right? The verb haya is already implying that we are talking of a he or a she, right? The word que that is underlined is already indicating that we will speak in the modo subjuntivo, right? So here we are expressing a hypothetical situation. I do not think that he has spoken with the manager. Avísame cuando hayas hablado con él. Tell me or let me know once you have spoken with him. The word cuando, or once or when, is also indicating that we are talking in tiempo in modo subjuntivo, right? So we are expressing a situation that is still hypothetical. Third example, ven en cuanto hayas hablado con tu padre. Ven en cuanto hayas hablado con tu padre. Come as soon as you have spoken with your father. Again, en cuanto means as soon as, okay? So this is also a hypothetical situation. Once you speak with your father, then come. So, hayas hablado is the pretérito perfecto del subjuntivo. So, in the first sentence, haya hablado. In the second sentence, hayas hablado. In the third sentence, hayas hablado. So, this is the conjugation pretérito perfecto del subjuntivo. You can see that here we are using an auxiliary verb, right? Not only we are using the verb hablar, that is the one we want to conjugate, but we need an auxiliary verb. Our auxiliary verb for pretérito perfecto del subjuntivo is the verb haber. So it's going to be the verb haber, the auxiliary verb, that is going to be conjugated for each subject pronoun, as you can see here. Yo haya hablado, or que yo haya hablado. Tú hayas hablado, or que tú hayas hablado. Él haya hablado, or que él haya hablado. Nosotros hayamos hablado, or que nosotros hayamos hablado. Vosotros hayáis hablado, or que vosotros hayáis hablado. Ustedes hayan hablado, or que ustedes hayan hablado. And ellos hayan hablado, or que ellos hayan hablado. Here you can see that since we are using auxiliary verb, because this specific conjugation tense requires an auxiliary verb, then since it is the auxiliary verb that always goes conjugated, this rule can apply to conjugate all the verbs in Spanish, regular and irregular verbs, okay? Because if it's an irregular verb, usually irregular verbs, sometimes when you conjugate them, the root changes, right, quite a bit. However, here, since the conjugation is made or is formed by the auxiliary verb, then it makes no difference if we are conjugating a regular verb or an irregular verb. Now let's jump into the second group of verbs, the verbs that end in er. Like, for example, the verb comer, or to eat. Example. No es posible que hayas comido todo eso. No es posible que hayas comido todo eso. It's not possible that you have eaten all that. Hayas comido is the verb comer in pretérito perfecto del subjuntivo. Second example. Cuando hayas comido, lava tu plato. Cuando hayas comido, lava tu plato. Once you have eaten, or once you have finished eating, wash your plate. Hayas comido is the verb comer in pretérito perfecto del modo subjuntivo. Now our third example. En cuanto haya comido, iré a verte. En cuanto haya comido, iré a verte. As soon as I have eaten, or as soon as I have finished eating, I'll go see you. Okay? So here, haya comido is the verb comer conjugated into the pretérito perfecto del subjuntivo. So as you can see here, we are always using the verb haber as auxiliary verb. So let's start conjugating it. Yo haya comido, or que yo haya comido. Tú hayas comido, or que tú hayas comido. Él